I'm going to show you how to warm up your voice using an ordinary drinking straw. Now you can get singer straws that you can buy. And one of the advantages of buying one of the singing straw sets is they often come in different lengths and size, diameters, and that can all impact how successful you are with it. But I'm going to show you how an ordinary drinking straw can do most of what you can do with one of those fancy, expensive ones. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to basically begin to warm up the very bottom of the voice. So this video is designed for male voices, bass voices, whether you are a tenor, baritone, or a bass. This video will give you a suitable warm-up using the straw for your voice. If you do have a treble voice, female or child, unbroken voice, then there is another video that sits it in a more appropriate place for that. So you're going to take your straw, and the idea is we're going to blow through the straw, making a kind of an ooh sound as we do it. Ooh. Now it's important that the air is coming through the straw and not out of your nose or out of the sides of your mouth. So you might want to double check whether the air is coming out there. Now you can use your hand to do that. Ooh, I can feel the air coming out of the bottom of the straw. Ooh, I can feel that there's no air coming out of my nose. Ooh, I can feel that there's no air coming out of the corner of my mouth. That's what we're aiming for. So we're starting down in the bottom of your voice, and we're just going to use this exercise to get going. Now, if I demonstrated in my key, obviously my voice is a treble voice. So in my key, it sounds like this. You're going to be starting down here. Okay, now I will join in, but I'm going to be joining in an octave above where you're singing, which should hopefully guide you into the right part of your voice. But this is the bottom of your voice that we're starting in. Let's give it a go. Very good. Now at this point, we can start to think about whether the straw that we're using is optimal for our own voice. So if you found that when you were singing through the straw just then, you were feeling quite tight and uncomfortable in your voice, you might want to add a second straw. And you can do it with 2 straws at the same time, which will increase your airflow and hopefully make life a little bit easier for you. If you found that the air was flowing out really quite too much, and it felt like you were running out of air before the end of it, you might want to find a smaller straw, like one of those coffee stirrer straws. That might give you a better resistance to the airflow. Let's carry on. So now we've worked on the bottom part of the voice, we're going to begin to add a stretch. And we're going to do that using this scale pattern, which is a basic arpeggio. And we're going to start in the bottom of the voice again, but we're going to begin to touch into the next part of the voice. Just keep the air flowing as much as you can and see how you get on, okay? So again, I will demonstrate it up the octave as we go. Ready? Another thing you want to play around with the straw is the difference between puffing your cheeks up as you blow into it versus keeping your cheeks a little flatter. Generally speaking, the puffed cheeks is going to give you a better resistance to the air, a better flow of air. So you're going to find it a lot easier to do the exercises. But you experiment, because every single voice is unique, and what works for one person may not necessarily work for the next person. So it's entirely down to you to experiment, to play, and to find the combination that works best for you. And now we want to try and increase the stretch. And so we want to start to introduce the full voice, which is going to require a longer scale pattern, which sounds like this. Now, don't worry if you're not familiar with that pattern. I'll play it a few times for you. And if you need to rewind back and listen a few more times, then you go and do that. So let's take the straw and let's follow this pattern now. Ready? Keep that air flowing. And if you're not sure whether it's flowing, just put your hand at the bottom of the straw again. Make sure you can feel the air flowing out the bottom. Keep going. Think about whether you want those cheeks puffed out. And one more. Well done. 5 to 6 minutes of vocalizing down the straw in a comfortable way should get your voice prepared to work in an optimum way, so that you get the most efficient use of the voice and the techniques that you already have. It can also be used to help you develop new techniques and new coordination, but the purpose of these exercises right now is purely to get your voice warmed up, not necessarily to build new skills, new coordination. Different types of exercises are better designed for that purpose. But from now on, before you go to do any singing, if you could spend 5 to 6 minutes with your straw, you will begin to notice how much easier it is to launch into your songs, to launch into whatever else it is that you plan to do with your voice. Give it a go. See how you get on.